viajar y compartir, share al final. Ahora Facebook está anexando una palabra más que se llama reflect, después de share, que es básicamente, para expresarlo en cambios de paradigma, las redes sociales eran el último silo en el proceso de compra, el último paso era compartir. Lo que están logrando los millennials ahora es que las redes sociales están afectando todo el funnel de compra, desde el principio, desde el research, desde los comentarios, desde el dream, desde el plan. Entonces quizás lo que está cambiando es la forma en que se inspira un viajero para viajar. Hoy están, digamos, modificando la forma en que se está haciendo la compra de los productos en la industria. Y la tercera idea fuerza, o sea, era ¿quiénes son los millennials? ¿Cuál es el paradigma que está cambiando? Y el tercer punto era qué están haciendo los hoteleros a nivel mundial para captar estos millennials. Se están enfocando muchísimo en la parte visual. No ahorren dinero en contratar un buen fotógrafo, no ahorren dinero en hacer un buen website. Yo siempre tengo un chiste muy común que digo que uno puede extender la mecha, pero lo que no puede evitar es que la bomba explote. Entonces si yo digo, bueno, no, este año no hacemos las fotografías, las hacemos el año que viene, no, este año vamos a hacer el website con un proveedor local que es mucho más barato, creo que estoy cometiendo errores muy graves teniendo en cuenta el ciclo de estos pasajeros que vienen con todo. Y después la experiencia mobile, ¿no? Tienen que estar optimizados en las tres plataformas básicamente, lo que es desktop, tablets y mobile, ¿no? O sea que básicamente creo que con eso les resumo en 5 minutos, que es el tiempo que tengo, la experiencia de los millennials, cómo están cambiando la industria y qué es lo que están haciendo los hoteles para captarlos.
Muy bien, okay. Sí, creo que muchísimas gracias, Mariano. Las redes sociales, todos esos temas son súper importantes y podemos hablar bastante de eso en unos minutos, creo. Pues ahora vamos a seguir. We are going to continue now with Mr. Santiago Parra. He is the Business Development Director of Hoteles City Express, the leading and fastest growing limited service hotel chain in Mexico. With a well-defined investment program for Latin America, Hoteles City also has a presence in San Jose, Costa Rica, and Cali, Colombia, and they plan to open a City Express in Santiago de Chile in the near future. These establishments are in addition to the 85 hotels that the company already has in Mexico. So Santiago, how do you see business travelers evolving?
Well, I see as millennials are growing, I see that there are new platforms that are competing with hotels that are typical hotels. Today, there are a lot of people booking rooms through platforms as Airbnb, and this appeals very much to millennials because they can share. They want to get a real experience, so they want to live in an apartment, meet people locally. They want to know people that have friends there. So, I mean, hotels now are competing with this type of platforms. I think, as Mariano was saying, hotels need to be evolving, and for example, City Express recently changed the image. We now have bigger lounges where you can sit down and go down to work. Internet for us is something crucial, but I mean it has to be high speed because everyone now travels with at least 2 different. I mean, has a phone and a computer or a tablet. So we're evolving to adapting to these kind of traffic.
Very good. Thank you for an excellent introduction. So again, if any of you have questions, definitely let us know. I have a few questions to start with. Deborah, so starting with you, since you're working on a joint venture between MGM Resorts and the Hakkasan Group, how is the factors that are important related to the rise of millennial travelers, how does that affect the joint venture, since you're dealing with 2 different groups, 2 different organizations in a way? So how does that come into play in terms of working together?
Well, the Hakkasan brand is in the process of being developed, and I think the fact that we're now in the midst of this generational kind of revolution, will help a lot in our conceptualization of the Hakkasan brand. Because I don't know if you're familiar with Hakkasan, but Hakkasan started as a restaurant company and then evolved in the nightlife arena, and then now we have to make that transition from restaurant and nightlife into hotel. The experience that you get when you go to a Hakkasan restaurant, that's really what we're trying to replicate, not necessarily identically, but at least carry forward on the hospitality side. And because millennials are so experience-based, I think it will lend really well to the creation of this new brand. Because if you've ever eaten at a Hakkasan restaurant, you can't really see from the outside that it's a restaurant. Usually you have a bodyguard or somebody that looks like a bodyguard outside, so it looks more like a nightclub or a secret place. It doesn't really have a name outside, so you really need to know that it is a Hakkasan restaurant to go in. And once you walk in, you have this very long dark corridor with blue lights and a very pretty woman at the end. So it's very much, I think they like to call themselves cinematic, because they try to make you feel like you're inside. When you're walking in, you feel like you're part of a movie. So there's a lot of play with lights, with darkness and light. The restaurant itself, it's open space, but there are mesh walls that kind of make you see through, so you'll never know if you're going to have a celebrity sitting right close to you or not. It's easy to partition the area, so even if the restaurant is not too full, you can make it look like it's full. The service is impeccable, and the music, there's always some very trendy music in the background. So all these little elements will have to translate into the hospitality side.
The ambiance that would appeal to the millennials.
I would think so. And the millennials also have this tendency of this fear of missing out. And they always want to show their peers that they were in the coolest new place, and they're always texting and sending pictures of who was there at this particular location when they were there. So as a company, we try to be super trendy, not in a negative way, because I think to be ultra trendy sometimes kind of can turn people off, and frankly we don't want to forget about the other generational groups, because they still make up the bulk of our customer base. But we want to be trendy in a way that it makes you feel special when you get in, so people will know your name when you get in. They'll treat you like royalty, even though not in a deferential way, like old, more traditional kind of brands do, where if you go into certain brands, they'll bow down and they'll make you feel like you're above them, which is not in our case, and especially with our types of brands, that it's more of a peer kind of relationship between the customer and the service people. But still, you feel like you're part of an experience that's limited to the few. So it's selective, but it's not so selective that you can't get in. So you just need to know how to make a reservation or make it well in advance. But so it's still open to the whole society, but it's still a very special place if you get in.
And Mariano, ya que su compañía colabora con varias compañías en varias partes de América del Sur, ¿qué tipo de compañía normalmente les pide información sobre cómo tratar ese segmento del mercado a los millennials? ¿Y cuáles son las recomendaciones que ustedes les ofrecerían?
Bueno, usualmente nuestros clientes son clientes que necesitan tener una mucha mejor performance en el website propio. Son hoteles que no siempre tienen un booking engine, un motor de reserva transaccional. Son clientes que usualmente no tienen mucho tráfico en el website. They don't have much traffic on their website. Y su negocio, o gran parte de su negocio electrónico, está manejado por las OTAs. Entonces lo que quieren lograr este tipo de cliente mío es decir, bueno, ok, yo quiero balancear, quiero dar pelea, quiero decir, bueno, las OTAs son mis socios, pero son mis competidores a la vez, y yo quiero, digamos, conseguir ese pasajero para mí. Entonces quieren crear una experiencia en el website que sea mucho más transaccional y fidelizar a esos clientes para ellos mismos. Acuérdense que el Millennial Traveler hoy compró Hoteles Cosmos por Booking, mañana compra Hoteles Royal por Expedia, pero no es fiel ni a Expedia, ni a Booking, ni a Hoteles MGM, o sea, es un mercenary shopper. Entonces lo que tenemos que tratar de hacer Sí, sí, se lo llama así, qué pena. Es un mercenary shopper, ¿no? Entonces una persona que, claro, y tiene herramientas como los metabuscadores, el más conocido es Kayak o Trivago o TripAdvisor. They have their own tools for search and compare and shop. Y los hoteleros están sufriendo muchísimo esa situación.
In Santiago, since your company has a tremendous presence in Mexico, obviously, and you're expanding now into other countries, and you already have a presence in 2 other countries, how does and you mentioned that you made some changes to the brand and to the image of the hotel of the brand. How does that come into play since your company is in growth mode? How is that coming into play and affecting the way that you grow? And you're planning the new property in Santiago de Chile, correct? So are the new properties moving forward? Are they a lot different in terms of how you're planning them from a design perspective, from the layout and amenities?
Well, they are the new generation, and what we're trying to do is keep up with the other hotels. So we're in the process of rebuilding or refurbishing these hotels so that they have a new look and feel that is more appealing to this type of travel.
And so is the architectural design, for example, for the hotels that are newer builds, I mean, all of the hotels in your company are relatively new.
Yes.
But has the architectural design changed at all to reflect trends in terms of what travelers are looking for? Or
Yes,
expect?
for example, the business center, previously it was separated in another room, and now it's integrated into the lounge where they serve breakfast in the morning, and then you have the business center there.
Right.
So there's some changes that we're doing to the brands.
And here's a question for all of you. People are paying more and more attention to millennial travelers, obviously, because it's the future of travel, and making changes to design and amenities, and introducing more technology and all of that. Is there ever any concern that